Okay, here's a problem that I ran into while I was tutoring a student, and I want to show you that the mistake the student made is the same mistake that ChatGPT makes here. So I gave it this prompt. Can you do this problem for me by using regrouping without making the fractions improper? So we have 2 and 7/12 minus 9 and 2/3. Okay, so ChatGPT says, sure, I can do this. And what it did was it borrowed 1 from the 2 and got 1 and 19/12, and then it converted the 9 and 2/3 to 12s. So it came up with the problem 1 and 19/12 minus 9 and 8/12. And then when it subtracted the whole numbers and got minus 8, then subtracted the fractions, and it got negative 8 and 11/12, same as the student I was tutoring. Okay, so now let's try a different prompt. All right, so my next prompt is, can you do this problem by making the fractions improper? Sure, let's solve. Okay, so it went through there, it made each of the fractions improper, and it got 31/12 minus 116/12, which equals negative 85/12. And then when we convert to the answer, we get negative 7 and 1/12, which is different answer than we had before. All right, so why are these answers different? Well, let's look at the correct answer. So the correct answer is negative 7 and 1/12. And if we do that correctly, we get 31/12 minus 29/3, which is 31/12 minus 116/12, which equals negative 85/12, which would equal negative 7 and 1/12. Okay, so why is the regrouping wrong? Why does it yield the wrong answer? Because when you looked at the steps, it was doing the steps correctly of regrouping. Well, the problem is what's happening with on each side of the number line with negative numbers and positive numbers. Because we would actually get the correct answer if we took the whole number, negative 8, and we added 11/12 to that. So if we take negative 8 plus 11/12, we would get negative 7 and 1/12. So teaching students that we have to be careful when we're using regrouping, that if this number is bigger than what you're subtracting from, and you're going to get a negative answer, you do not want to use regrouping. You want to make them both improper in order to do this. All right. Now, one thing that you can do is if you reverse a subtraction problem, you get the opposite answer. So what we could do is we can reverse these, do the subtraction, and then take the opposite answer. So for example, 9 and 2/3 minus 2 and 7/12. So this would be 9 and 8/12 when minus 2 and 7/12 when we get a common denominator. Now we can subtract whole numbers 7 and 8/12 minus 7/12 is 1/12. And then what we want to do is we want to take the opposite of that because we reverse this. So the answer would be, when we reverse that back, negative 7 and 1/12. Okay, so just something that I ran into that may help elementary school teachers or parents out there that are having problems and getting wrong answers on practice problems or helping with homework. All right, thanks for watching.